Hello everybody, welcome back to Awesome Crafter. Today we're going to be taking some Home Bargains bunny jars and we're going to be adding little bunny faces and a cute little name onto the top to make them a bit more personalised for Easter. To make these little jars, what we're going to need is obviously a Home Bargains bunny jar. We've got some little chocolate sweets and eggs to put inside. We're going to use the Cricut. We've got a standard grip mat. We've got self-adhesive vinyl, some transfer tape, a weeding tool, a burnishing tool, scissors and a ruler. We're going to head on over to Design Space and prepare our bunny design. Now we're over onto Design Space and we're onto our canvas. What we need to do is we need to upload our bunny face design. So we're going to click on upload and then we're going to go to upload image. And now it's going to allow us to select the file that we want. So we're going to click on browse. And as you can see, I've got some male bunny faces here. This is part of a bundle that I bought from Design Bundles. So I'm going to click on bunny faces and the SVG file and click on open. That's now showing me the design that I've selected and that's the one I want. So we're going to head on over to upload. And now we can see it's in our recent uploads. So I'm just going to click on that and now it's put a green box around it so we know that's what it's going to select. And I'm going to add that to my canvas. And there we go, that's now appeared. Now we've got our bunny design on our canvas and as you can see it's going to be really quite big for our jar. So I've already measured my jar and I need my design to be 3.5 inches wide. So I'm just going to go up to the size box at the top and I'm going to click on width and I'm going to change that to 3.5 and then I'm just going to click the tab key and that's going to alter the design and that's going to make it the size that's going to fit on our jar. As there's two colours of vinyl, what I need to do now is I need to head on over to ungroup and I'm going to ungroup all the pieces. Now it's ungrouped, so you can see that all the individual parts of the bunny face are now listed down there. So what I need to do now is I need to hold the shift key and I'm going to click on each piece that's in black and I'm just going to select it all. And then once it's selected all of those, I'm going to click on attach. And if we just scroll back up, we can see that it's all attached except the bunny nose, because we want, when we send it to the Cricut, we want that to be cut out on a separate mat. Now that's all done, we're going to click on make it. From this mat, we can now see how the Cricut is going to cut out our design. So first of all, it's going to cut out our bunny face in the black vinyl. And then secondly, it's going to cut out the pink nose. So what we need to do now is we need to head on over to continue. And that's going to find our Cricut machine. And we're going to select premium vinyl because I find that this one cuts out really well for me. And then I like the pressure to be more. As our design is going to cut out the black vinyl first, we're going to prepare our black vinyl onto our standard grip mat. So we're going to apply the vinyl and we're going to press it down firmly onto the mat. I'm going to open up the Cricut and we're just going to pop in the mat and we're going to click on the flashing arrow button and that will load it. As we've already set the materials that we're going to use and the pressure, we now just need to click on the flashing Cricut button and that will start it cutting. Now that that's finished cutting, we're just going to press the flashing arrow button and eject the material. We're going to flip over the mat and we're going to remove the mat from the vinyl as this will help prevent it from curling. We're just going to set that to the side and now we're going to place on our pink vinyl because this is going to cut out our bunny nose. And we're going to do the same, we're just going to press that on firmly, load it into the Cricut. Now we're back over in Design Space and as you can see, premium vinyl is still selected, as is more pressure. So all we need to do now is go back over to the Cricut and press on the flashing Cricut button. Now that's all been cut out, we're just going to eject the mat again from the machine. And again, we're going to flip over the mat and remove the mat from the vinyl. We'll pop that to the side because we'll need that again shortly. Just going to close that up. Now we're ready to weed our design. So in order to do this, I'm just going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut around the edge of the design carefully. This will save us the vinyl for another project and make it easier to weed. And again, I'm going to do the same with the little nose. Now we've cut around the edge of our two pieces of our design, we need to take our weeding tool now and we're just going to weed away any excess vinyl, just leaving us with the piece that we need to go onto our jar. Now we're ready to attach the transfer tape onto the front of our design. So we're going to attach it to the bunny face first and then we're going to add the nose on after. So we're just going to pop that over onto our bunny face and we're going to take our burnishing tool and we're just going to burnish that on to make sure it's all stuck to the transfer tape. That's looking good. And now we're just going to position the little bunny nose on as well. Like so, and then when you're happy, we're just going to burnish that on as well and then just peel off the back. Now we have our bunny face all ready to go. There is another step that I like to do and this is optional, but what we're going to do is we're going to clean the front of the jar with some rubbing alcohol. So now we have our rubbing alcohol and what we're going to do is we're just going to put a tiny little drop onto the cloth and we're just going to rub the front of the jar with the rubbing alcohol just to remove any grease that may be on there. Now that that's been done, we're just going to take our bunny face and we're just going to position it onto the front of the jar. I found that if you start at one of the sides, then it allows you to press down the design, but also making sure it gets over all of the bumps. With it not being a flat surface, it allows you to press the vinyl into the spaces, and I did find that that helped it stick as well. And we're just going to use our fingers just to rub it down. Just going to press it down really firmly, making sure that it's all stuck down. Then we're going to slowly remove the transfer tape. If there's any parts that aren't stuck down, like that little piece, then we're just going to press it down a little bit more. And there we have it. Now all the transfer tape's been removed and the design is all stuck down. It is quite tricky, so bear with it and do it slowly, making sure you keep pushing it down as you go along. Now what we're going to do is we're going to personalise the top of the jar and we're just going to add a name onto the lid. So we're going to head back over into design space. Now we're back into our canvas, we can see that our bunny design is still here, but we don't want that to cut out again. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to hide the two pieces by clicking on the little eye icon. Now I'm going to click on text, and as you can see it's brought me up a text box. So I'm going to type in the name that I'm going to use. So for this one I'm going to use the name Shane. Then I'm going to click on the text box because I want to change the text, and I'm going to click on system and I'm going to use the same text as I did for the last one. So I'm going to use Arial rounded, and there we can see there it is, and there it's changed our name. That's really too big. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to measure the top of my jar. So I'm going to take the ruler and we're just going to quickly measure to see how big we want the name to be. So I think we've got about 2.5 inches for that one. And in the text box at the top, I'm going to change that to 2.5 and press the tab key, and that's going to change it. As the jar has got a bit of a curve, I want to curve my text. So I'm going to click on the curve button and I'm just going to slide the bar across, and that's going to hopefully curve the name in the right direction. That looks pretty good. So again, we're going to click on Make It. As we're just using self-adhesive vinyl, we don't need to mirror it, so that's fine. We're going to click on Continue. I'm going to select our materials again. I'm going to select Premium Vinyl and I'm going to select More. So for the name, I'm going to use white vinyl. So I'm going to place my white vinyl onto my standard grip mat again, pressing it down firmly. Press on the flashing arrow button to load the mat into the machine. And now that's ready, we're going to press on the flashing Cricut button and that will start the cut. Now that's all finished, we're just going to press the flashing arrow button and remove the mat. Again, we're going to flip over the mat and remove that from the vinyl. We're just going to take the scissors and trim around the name. This will save time with excess weeding. Then I'm going to weed out the name now. Now that's all fully weeded, we're just going to take the same piece of transfer tape that we used earlier, and again we're just going to cover over the name and we're going to use the burnishing tool and just burnish it onto there. And we're just going to flip it over and move the back in. Now we're going to take the bunny jar again, and again I'm just going to give it a little clean. So we're just going to pop some more rubbing alcohol onto the cloth and just wipe the top, just like so. Again, we don't want too much because we don't want it to be too wet, because we actually want the vinyl to stick to it. Now we're going to take our vinyl and we're just going to position it on to the top of the jar till you think it looks okay, and then again we're just going to press it down so that all the letters start to stick to the jar lid. And there we have it, our jar is all now completed, and as you can see it's got a super cute little bunny face on it and it's personalised with a name across the top. And there we have our 2 personalised bunny jars. It was a great little craft and I really enjoyed doing it, and it was so easy, just picking up a little jar from town and just adding a little bunny face and a name, and it will make a great addition to Easter. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial and I will look forward to seeing you in my next video. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye for now.